coach.
All right, questions for Will?
I was curious, how many times have you been to Arrowhead Stadium, and how fitting is it you're going to start your career at Nebraska in that stadium?
Arrowhead Stadium, I've probably been to Arrowhead probably about, throughout my time being in Kansas City, probably about around 8 times, not too many times, but, well, with that being my first game, it's almost like a story out of a book, I'm ready. I'm really just ready to go out there, have fun, play ball again, but it's gonna be fun.
What's changed for you? Coach said you're a different player now than you were in the spring and when you got here. What do you see as the change?
I say the biggest change I see is probably my mental. Coming in, I've gained more confidence, I would say, in my play, just with the coaching and just with more reps. It's just gained my confidence in a way.
What is it about this program that stood out to you, to begin with, and what have you maybe learned about it over these last few months?
Well, first of all, coming here and entering the portal, I had good relationships on the staff, with my former high school head coach being Jamar Mosey. That made the decision to come here even that much more easy. But then, when I talked to Coach Rule, he told me he just wanted me to come in, just be myself, just play my game, and I feel like that's what I came in and have been doing, and I feel like it's been working out pretty good for me. So.
Yeah, you have elevated yourself to levels where you played quite a bit this season. Just how has embracing just being yourself and just letting that speak for itself helped you?
And I feel like it's helped me a lot because, I would say, last season at Missouri, I kind of may have put a little too much pressure on myself, overthinking in certain areas, and just coming in and just being free, playing freely, and just being myself has just helped. Like, at the end of the day, it's just ball, so going out there having as much fun as you can. So yeah.
Will, at what point in the whole process did you notice, maybe it was even before you signed, that the opening game this year was going to be in your hometown, and did that motivate you through the offseason to become a different player in any way?
I'd say when I figured out, it was definitely exciting, playing in the city, in the stadium that I, basically idolized, growing up. But no, I wouldn't say, it motivated me in a way. I feel like I just was coming in, just putting my best foot forward every day, and I feel like it's been working out pretty good for me. So I'm just gonna keep doing that, do whatever I can to help my team win. So.
Do you know how many friends and family members are going to be at the game on Thursday for you?
I don't know an exact number, but it's going to be, it's a lot of people trying to come out, show love, so, yeah.
What was the biggest difference for you just adjusting to Nebraska versus Missouri in terms of how the programs were run? I mean, what would you say the biggest difference is between Coach Rule and maybe where he came from?
I'd say the biggest difference would probably be the attention to detail that we pay to our day-to-day, It's a lot of maybe things that people aren't maybe used to, college athletes, maybe things that they may not feel are required, but I feel like Coach Rule, he runs the system in a way to kind of, get us ready for the next level. So, yeah, it'll probably be that.
What does Coach Mosey mean to you?
Man, Mosey's almost like a second father to me. Like throughout my recruiting process, he guided me through it. I went on most of my visits with him. It's just like almost like a mentor for me. A guy that I can always lean on, and I know he always got my best interests at heart. So.
When he talked to the team a couple weeks ago, Coach Rule said he was really impressive. Is that something that you have seen throughout your years?
Oh yeah, I know. Almost something that I can't really put into words. You just gotta meet him, and a certain way he carries himself. A certain way he kind of leads by example. So yeah.
Who's been the guy that's a player that's really helped you since you got here? The guy that's kind of taken you under his wing.
Should I say Desan McAuliffe? he's kind of just came in and just brings like an energy factor, you know, to me. Kind of just always motivated me, you know, with him being really a vet, you know. He's been taking me under his wing.
He was another pretty high-profile recruit when he came out of high school. Did you feel like that was part of the challenge that you had when you went to Missouri? That you felt like a lot of eyes were on you and all that?
Yeah, I'd say that's what it was, you know. I feel like I kind of just had to learn how to, you know, I guess handle different amounts of pressure or whatever. Like, I just had to know, like, at the end of the day, it's just ball, you know. So you just go out there and play a game, you know, have fun. A lot of other things will just handle themselves. So, yeah.
What's it been like working with Coach Braden? Is there any sort of technique or motivation that really stands out?
One thing that stands out is just his energy. You know, he brings very good energy to the room, and he likes to say, you know, energy is contagious. So we kind of all feed off his energy, and you know, with him, where he came from, and all the accomplishments that you know, that he's witnessed. I know, I trust him, you know, everything that he's telling me, and I feel like he trusts me. So, yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.